Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about Venti because he is the first banner of 1.4 and I actually have him because he was the first summon in the game. So I was able to build him and I've been using him a lot so I can give some pointers and I wanted to make it easier for you to make a decision if you should summon him or not. And yeah, so I hope this video helps you a lot and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. And with that, let's just go ahead and start and let's talk about his skills first. Okay, so let's talk about Venti's skills. I'm just gonna mostly just be talking about everything except his normal attack because that's just his normal attack. But his first skill is Skyward Sonnet, and for that skill, it summons this circle on the floor and it deals huge AoE animal damage. But if you hold down that skill, instead it will summon a huge circle around him and will have a bigger AoE with bigger damage, and it'll also cause the player to go up through the currents, and you can use that current to like glide places as well. Along with that, it's his elemental burst, which is Wind's Grand Ode, and basically when she used this, it causes a huge vortex to appear and it does a bunch of animal damage and it sucks all the monsters in, not like the big ones but mostly the smaller ones. And along with that, if you cause a swirl, which is basically when you use Animo and you use a different element, it will cause extra damage for that element. It will cause the vortex to absorb that element. So if you use Hydro, if you use Pyro, if you use Cryo or Electro, it will cause extra damage with the corresponding element. And another great thing about the skill is that it only has 60 energy costs, which is pretty much regular with a lot of other characters, but Venti has a lot of energy recharge to begin with, so he gets it back pretty fast. Okay, next is Embracing Winds. Basically, when you use the hold E, the current that you get from that skill lasts for 20 seconds. And then lastly, once you use his elemental burst, once you get Storm Eye, you regenerate more energy for Venti and the corresponding element that is absorbed from the vortex. Okay, with that, let's just talk about his weapon selection, which I think is a pretty big criteria because the weapons are really important in this game. So there are a good bit of weapons for him as 4 stars. And to be honest, before the event, I would say if you don't have Stringless or a better weapon for him, like a 5-star, it would be a little harder to use if you want to do it for damage. But thanks to the event, we get Windbloom Ode, and that is honestly a great weapon for him. And you get it for free, and you can get it all the way to R5. And the reason I say this is because first of all, his substat would be Elemental Mastery, and Elemental Mastery is very good for his swirl damage, especially for his Elemental Burst. Along with that, the base attack is 510, which is pretty good, and the weapon skill is increasing his attack by 16% when he uses elemental skill for 6 seconds. His cooldown for his elemental skill not hold is 6 seconds, so you can basically have 16% attack added to his attack at all times. And this is at only an R1. But along with that, honestly, the best weapon I recommend for him that's not a 5-star is the Stringless because it's such a good bow at R1. It increases elemental skill and elemental burst damage by 24%. 24% is pretty nice. And if you get all the way to R5, you get up to 48%. Along with that, it also has elemental mastery, and it does have the same amount of elemental mastery and the same amount of base attack as the free-to-play weapon. I just say this is better because his damage does come more from his elemental burst and his elemental skill, and it scales a lot better than attack percent, especially for Venti, because I don't think attack is a very strong stat for him, in my opinion. So you benefit more from his elemental skill and elemental burst damage going up. And if you want to go for a more support type Venti, I would say Favonian's Bow or Sacrificial Bow, like any of those energy recharge type of weapons are pretty good for him. And then along with that, any 5-stars, honestly, Ammo's Bow I wouldn't say is a good weapon on him because he doesn't benefit from attack percent, he doesn't benefit from that range thing, and yeah, it's just honestly not a good weapon. If anything, the new 5-star weapon coming out, LG for the End, it's pretty nice. It has a good energy recharge for him, good base attack, and the skill's pretty nice. It's basically Noblesse without having Noblesse 4-piece, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's really worth trying to go for, especially since it's not guaranteed. So I would probably say not. For Skyward's Harp, it's pretty nice. He does get more crit rate and crit damage, both into one skill, and you do extra damage in general with the bow, and those are pretty nice things for him. But honestly, if you don't have Skyward's Harp, I would still say like Stringless is honestly probably one of the best bows for him, even to be honest better than Skyward's Harp. And the new bow coming out, the free-to-play one for the event, is going to be very nice on him as well. So if you're thinking about if you don't have a weapon for him, you're going to get a great one for him in the event. And yeah, so you shouldn't really worry about that, in my opinion. Okay, let's just talk about Venti as a character now. So first of all, Venti is just a great character. He can do lots of crowd controlled stuff. He can easily, like, I wouldn't say easily kill things, but he can pretty much shred some damage pretty quickly if you equip him correctly. And he's just such a great support character at the same time. He's a great support damage DPS character in my opinion. He can do some real big damage. Like just basically pop your elemental burst, use some ease, and then you can just shred enemies in the real world. And then also, he's just great in Abyss. He makes Abyss pretty easy, especially with large waves, which Abyss, like, is usually like one part of the chambers that has waves or a huge amount of monsters, and then the chamber that doesn't. Just bring Venti into one of them, and he will just make the chambers a joke most of the time. So overall, Venti for me is a great character. He has like lots of potential as a damage dealer. He's a great support. He has a good weapon selection and he's just overall just a good character. And there's a reason why people wanted him since the first time he came out. And people regret not getting it. So honestly, in my opinion, I would say if you're looking for someone that could do damage and really supports your team, and especially Abyss, especially that dreaded 11-2, which everyone hates, especially me, I would definitely recommend him. He is a great unit. And I know Child's coming, he's also a great DPS. But if you have a DPS, and if you want just a good character overall, he's still good. And there's so much they're going to give in this game that's going to be able to let you easily build him. So overall, I would say, yeah, get him, in my opinion. He's a great unit. Unless you just don't need him, just don't do it. I hope the information in this video helped you enough to think of your own, like, decision if you want him or not. And yeah, so with that, thanks for watching the video. And I hope if you pull for Venti, you get him as fast as possible without you having to spend money or the resources you have. Hope you guys have a great 1.4, and I'll see you guys next time.